I wanted to make a video on the Hunter Schafer passport situation since it is all over the news and you cannot avoid it. To be honest, I did not know who Hunter Schafer was until this news story became prominent. Shows you that I live in my own little bubble. So, for those others who do not know, Hunter Schafer is a 26-year-old American transgender actress and model. I have not seen any of her movies, but you can Google them. Hunter is also completely passable as female, unclockable. Nobody is going to identify her as a man. The controversy is she went to renew her passport and instead of identifying her as female, they changed it to male with an M. This led to Hunter Schafer understandably being upset about this and posting a video with her feelings about the situation, her shock, and her belief that this change is due to the Trump administration's new policy directions on such matters. She is, of course, defiant, and says this will not change anything about who she is, her identity as transgender, and an angry FU to the current Trump administration. Not being transgender or part of the LGBTQ community, what is my perspective on this and perhaps others outside of this community? My personal opinion about Hunter's case is they should have kept the gender marker as female because she is completely passable as a cisgender female. It will now cause confusion with officials when she travels and unneeded embarrassment for her. Having said this though, it is not so black and white but more gray. It really depends on how passable the person is with the gender they identify with. What about some transgender woman who doesn't pass but looks like a man to anybody that looks at them? Should they also keep that gender profile as F? Wouldn't that cause confusion as well? Also, to say the gender should only be changed if the person passes creates new problems about standards and fairness, and wokeness. Will this change the lives of transgender people in general, this changing of the passport or driver's license ID, negatively? To some extent, yes, it will make life more difficult, but in the big picture it is not a big deal. Easy for me to say, I am not transgender will be the critique. True, but since I am not part of that community, I believe I can look at things more objectively. The most important things are access to HRT, hormone replacement therapy for adults who want to transition, and that there be no discrimination towards transgender people as it relates to employment opportunities and housing. So far, the Trump administration has not enacted any executive order or proposed any legislation that goes in that direction. If they did, of course, I would be 100% against such measures. Should someone as wonderful as Twitch and YouTube femboy Astra763 not be allowed her hormone treatment for her to continue in her transition? Of course not. The very idea of it makes me sad and angry. So in conclusion, I think for most of the general public non-LGBTQ, this measure will not seem like a big deal, but I also believe, like me, they will react negatively and oppose any measures that deny adults access to HRT treatment.